With Campaign 12 streaking toward what could be a photo finish, President Obama and Mitt Romney have begun their last full day of campaigning. The AP's Mark Smith reports.
The Challengers' Day began in Florida with chanting supporters and a vow of real change.
It's not just something I talk about. It is something I have done, and it is something I will do as the President of the United States.
But the incumbent told a Wisconsin crowd he started change and should finish the job.
You've seen me fight for it, and you've seen me deliver it. You've seen the scars on me to prove it.
Ahead of both men rallies late into the night and a decision on change whose outcome is no longer in their hands. Mark Smith at the White House.
Bruce Springsteen is spending the day before the election campaigning with President Obama. He played Land of Hope and Dreams at a rally in Wisconsin today. Springsteen says after running on an optimistic message of change in 2008, Obama now faces a world that challenges your hopefulness. Well, for voters in battleground Ohio, it's all over but the Election Day voting. The AP's Warren Levinson reports.
Ohio voters flocked to early polls to deal with an awesome responsibility, says Megan LaRue of Dublin, playing the key role in the Electoral College calculation.
You know, I just moved here from Michigan a couple months ago, so it's a little exciting.
Wesley Kelly of Columbus voted early for President Obama.
It takes more than 4 years to overcome a lot of the obstacles that he was trying to overcome.
James Penwell of Grove City voted against him.
He should stick with what he said in his first campaign, that if nothing happens in his first term, it'll just be a one term only.
The state is also said to be filling up with lawyers ready for possible challenges to a close vote count. Warren Levinson, Columbus, Ohio.
With 1 day to go, Mitt Romney is pushing his case in 4 battleground states. The AP's Sagar Magani explains.
First in Florida.
This nation is going to begin to change for the better tomorrow.
And then Virginia.
Do you want 4 more years like the last 4 years?
Romney also has stops in Ohio and New Hampshire today, and after initially planning to lay low after voting tomorrow, he's now added visits to Ohio and Pennsylvania. Sagar Meghani, Boston.
Drivers in New York and New Jersey are spending a lot of time in line getting gas, and they're paying more for it. Gas prices are up an average 3 cents in New York and 7 cents in New Jersey. The price of gas is falling for the rest of the country, though, 7 cents in the last week. Prices are expected to drop even more in the coming weeks. Well, it's been 1 week since Superstorm Sandy hit the east, and for some in New York City, life is getting back on track. Still others remain in need for help. The AP's Julie Walker reports.
Most of the trains are back up and running, and many students are back in class, even if they had to be relocated to another school because theirs was damaged by the storm. While gas lines remain, the power is back on in Lower Manhattan, but many New Yorkers in the hardest hit areas of Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island are still without electricity, heat, and hot water. The housing situation is also dire for those left without a place to live, especially with temperatures dropping and another storm coming in. The city estimates the superstorm left up to 40,000 homes uninhabitable. Julie Walker, New York.
Military prosecutors say the soldier accused of killing 16 villagers in a nighttime rampage in Afghanistan returned to his base with the blood of his victims on his rifle, belt, shirt, and pants. Staff Sergeant Robert Bales is charged with 16 counts of premeditated murder and 6 counts of attempted murder in the attack on the 2 villages. 9 of the victims were children. A hearing in the case is being held today. Rival Syrian rebel groups are clashing with each other. More from the AP's Mark Levy in Cairo.
It's a symptom of the divisions among Syrian rebels. 2 armed groups are fighting each other for control of a border crossing with Turkey. This comes just as rebel groups are meeting in Qatar to try to form a united front. That's not going the way the U.S. wants. The Syrian National Council is trying to expand its membership. The U.S. believes that body, made up of exiles and academics, is not the one to lead. All this shows that even if President Bashar Assad is deposed, that would be only the beginning. Mark Levy, Cairo.
And in local news, Minneapolis-based food company Nash Finch will be closing its Cedar Rapids, Iowa distribution center by the end of the year. The company says fewer than 50 jobs will be lost and the work will be consolidated at centers in Omaha and Minnesota. Nash Finch says the consolidation will allow for increased efficiency. Also in local news, the U.S. Department of Agriculture says farmers who chose to pay more to insure their crops at harvest prices will receive $7.50 per bushel for corn. That should be welcome news for corn farmers in Iowa, Illinois, and Nebraska, the nation's 3 largest corn producers. The Des Moines Register also reports that the harvest price payout for soybeans will be $15.39 per bushel. And taking a look at the Omaha Metro weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies and lows down around 36 degrees. For Tuesday, mostly sunny and highs near 56. And finally, Wednesday, sunny and highs near 57. Currently, it's foggy, misting, and 42 degrees at the KVNO studios here in Omaha. For more on our local news stories, you can log on anytime to kvnonews.com. You can also find us on both Twitter and Facebook. Our next news broadcast is at 5 o'clock. For KVNO News, I'm Brandon McDermott.